all of our viewers on Synergy TV, all those of you on the Caribbean Showtime television in Canada, all of our listeners on U975 FM Multicultural Radio, a very warm welcome to another edition of the program Conversations with Zelisa. I am Zelisa Budusing Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy, absorb, and of course get your pen, get your paper, get your phone, so you could take important telephone numbers down and information that will be very helpful for you and your loved ones. Directing this morning and in Master Control, Hisham Costello. On behalf of our team, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, the 15th of August, 2023. It is a day and time we'll never have the opportunity to have again. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours. I want to say happy Independence Day to India. They are celebrating their 77th year as an independence. May I please have that photo picture up, please? So again, happy India Independence Day. And it says, when you are simple and pure in heart, freedom will never be apart. All right? So happy India Independence Day. Thank you so much, Hisham. And of course, let's quickly go to our quote for today, coming to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo. And our quote says, speak only if it improves upon the silence. I want to repeat this, and I hope Hisham will take this in as well. Speak only if it improves upon the silence. All right? That's a message for all of us. And of course, that came to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo. Remember to check them out. This is the big white tent opposite Medford gas station in Shogunas. They've got daily deals, discounts on their beautiful clothing, shoes, accessories, household items, furniture, beautiful pieces for your home, curtains, so much. If you're looking for gifts, toys, whatever you're looking for, it's a one-stop shop. And of course, don't forget the food court, don't forget the area where you could get your fresh juices and punches and things like that. And of course, they've got the beauty station as well, where you ladies can get all your beautiful, things in terms of when it comes to you and your skincare. And, check them out today, the play area for the children, and it's safe and secure parking. And of course, this is Fab India Expo, the white tent opposite Medford gas station in Shogunas. Let's say, of course, a very warm welcome to a lady. I've had her on the program a couple months ago, and since then she's done so much more with her life as a Venezuelan, now living in Trinidad and Tobago. But I think she's a success story, because very often we look and we highlight the negativity of Venezuelans coming to Trinidad. But I'm sure that you would understand that each one of us can identify a loved one, a friend or a family member that would have migrated and left Trinidad for reasons. And when people leave their country, their homeland, the comfort of their homeland and their home and their family and friends, to go to another country, it is for many times for betterment, for growth, for improvement in their lives, all right? For safety in some situations. So let me say good morning and a very warm welcome going out to this absolutely beautiful young lady, Astrid Pulchan. She's a teacher and translator as well. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
And not just a teacher, so many hats that you wear as well.
Yes. Well, the last time we spoke was in December.
Yes.
Yes, and since then I have been doing so much more.
I know.
Yes. So, well, in that moment when we talked, I was in training. It was a 4 months training for the Miss India Worldwide Trinidad and Tobago pageant.
Yes.
And I was in the Mrs. category. This was it had 3 categories. And in January, we had our talent show. And at the end of January, we had our final night.
Yes.
And, well, I got 2 titles. So one was Miss Congeniality, and the other one was Miss Technology.
Very nice.
So that was a very great experience. And as I always say, I like to encourage women who have children, as myself, and think that life just, okay, let's
That's
stop
it,
there.
yeah. Very often we just
Yeah.
think, okay, we get so comfortable and you know, in our family life or with children, and some of us still have dreams, even though we
Yeah.
are wives and even though we are mothers, we still feel that some of us go on to greater and better things and allow our dreams to blossom like she did, or some of us take it for granted, well, you know, that's where life would stop, when that's far from the truth. There's so much that you could do as an individual.
Yes, you think that, okay, that's it. You don't have to follow your passion. And
Yeah.
definitely I did, and I encourage other women to do so. Because it's so, you know, you get back your confidence.
Yes.
And you get to meet a lot of people and get a lot of more opportunities as well. But not only that, to stop there, I still, of course, also continue my career as a teacher. In Venezuela, I was, but then being in Trinidad, I was like, you know, being an immigrant, it was difficult for me to get
Yeah.
back to my field.
You know, Astrid, I wanna take a pause and I wanna go back. I wanna backtrack, especially for those who did not see the last interview. If you could tell us, you were gainfully employed in Venezuela. You were a teacher already working. Your career had
Yes.
started. But what was it that brought you to Trinidad and Tobago? What was the main reason that you picked up and say, this is not for me, I need growth, I need change? Why
Yeah.
did you leave Venezuela?
Yeah, well, basically everything was going, I could say perfect in my life. I was working in PDVSA, the Petroleum Company of Venezuela.
Right.
And I was a teacher in one of the schools, this is especially for the work of children.
Yeah.
And I was, you know, I actually living part of my dreams as well, because it was not only the work, we had extracurricular activities. And I was part of many of those activities.
Yeah.
And one day, everything was like shattered. Everything was shattered when some thieves came inside of my house. And my mom and I were alone in the house, and thanks God nothing happened to us physically, but definitely emotionally it was never the same, because I was not feeling secure. They just come and take, you know, you're hard working, you know, you work so hard
Yeah,
for your stuff,
yeah.
and they just come and take everything from you. And
They crossed the line.
yes.
And it, you know, and now when you say that, I am sure many of us Trinidadians right now and Tobagonians can say that's how we feel when it comes to crime in our country. And a lot of us are packing up and just trying our best to get out of Trinidad.
Yes, you see, that's exactly what is happening here as well. It's, you know, it's like, and I think not only here, all over the world, it's a lot of crime and delinquency. That's the reason I left. Actually, it was, you know, it was hitting already the, you know, this inflation and all these
Yeah, of
social,
course,
you know, all these
yeah.
economic and social problems. But that was not the main reason for me. For me, was not feeling safe in my own
Safe,
house.
yeah.
But thanks God, since I am in Trinidad, since 2015, December 2015, well, it's more than 7 years now, and I feel, well, it's still safe, because I have been out in Trinidad,
Yeah.
and I haven't experienced any crime specifically
Upon you and
for
your
me.
family.
Yeah.
So you're happily married. You're a mummy.
Yes, yeah, my daughter is 4 years old, and well, she now graduated from preschool. In September, she will be 5, and
Nice.
she will be going to
Primary school,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You've made a life here for yourself, and you've done, I have to applaud you and tell you, you've done exceptionally well. You did not sit idly by and think, well, I'm married and let me depend on my husband. You've made a life for yourself. You're quite independent. As much as you have the support, based on the conversations we have had, as much as you have the support of your
Yeah.
husband and his family,
Yes.
they've embraced you. I love the fact that you've gained your independence as a woman to shine bright. Despite all the odds, despite all the negativity, all the challenges you would have faced, you've done exceptionally well for yourself. And I admire you, And I think that you can now be a hero for your community, you know, and others who migrate and think, well, that's it. There's so much more that you can do.
Yes, of course. Like, everybody who reached to me for any kind of help, I will try to do so, especially translating. I get a lot of requests to
For that.
translate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the job I was doing since March is, well, I had delayed this call because of the pageant.
Yeah.
I was very busy. So when
Yeah.
I got this call, I delayed it. But when finally I started, this is a school in St. Augustine. It's a private school where I am the Spanish teacher in the school. But we have children. We have Trinidadian children.
You're right.
It's preschool to primary school.
Nice.
So we have Trinidadian children, we
Yeah.
have Cuban children, and we have Venezuelan children.
Okay.
And as well the teachers, as Trinidadian, we have a Cuban and of course myself, Venezuelan. So this is something so amazing, you
Yeah.
know, to see all this, how can I put it, this, you know, mixture of cultures and this amazing opportunity to everybody to learn not only the language, but of course to interact with other people from other countries. And besides the subjects, we have a lot of extra activities as well. And one of them, I not only teach them the subjects, but as well I teach them yoga. So I bring to the school something new for them, who was the yoga, and the children are loving it.
I know that in terms of yoga and dance, it's one of your dreams that you and I spoke about. You know, you've put the energy out there and you have a goal that that's something that you're looking at in the future. There's so much that you want to do and embrace. One of the things that you and I have had conversations on is developing a show for radio for Latin music. And I wonder how many people would have noticed the change in Trinidad and Tobago with regards to the influence or the Spanish culture in terms of the food. Now you're seeing a lot of Spanish food. You're seeing the influence of the music a little heavier and more now. And it's because in every community, I was saying to her, in Cunupé, there's a whole area like a village with only Spanish people. And you were saying to me, well, Zelisa, it's everywhere. It's not just there. It's everywhere in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. And obviously, you go to the supermarkets, you go shopping wherever, you are seeing Venezuelans gainfully employed in Trinidad. They come and they work extremely hard. Yeah.
Yes, I see Venezuelans everywhere. But not only, you see, that's the thing. People always think it's only Venezuelans. But when they calling them Spanish, is because they speak Spanish, but they are, we should call them Latin.
Latin, yeah, because I see a lot of Cubans as well.
Yes, from other countries.
Yeah, you're very correct.
Yes. So
this is the program Conversations with Zelisa. I'm in conversation this morning with an absolutely beautiful young lady. Her name is Astrid Pulchan. She's a teacher and a translator. And you know, she's here to talk about how she would have settled in Trinidad and Tobago, making a life for herself and her family. And we're going to continue our conversation when we return. Do continue to stay with us. Let's go to these important messages.
This is the final notice to all our patrons. Fab India Expo will definitely be closing on Monday 21st August. Everything in store up to 80% off. Final few days to relish multi-cuisine food court. Big sale on furniture. We thank all our patrons for their support. We should be back for Diwali. Once again, final extension. Fab India Expo will definitely be closing on 21st August. No further extensions.
Super quality supermarket. Best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Couva Car Park, Couva, 98 Endeavour Road, Chagonas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket.
Welcome to OATS, Optimal Alternative Treatment Solutions Limited, the future of healthcare, which provides full body scans, which we detect and treat cancer, tumors, all heart conditions, cysts, fibroids, dementia, Parkinson's, just to name a few. No radiation and medication is not needed. If you are tired of getting no results, call us at 354-4459 or 356-7226.
Are you ready to own your own home? But worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa. To all of our viewers on Synergy TV, all of our viewers on the Caribbean Showtime television in Canada, and of course to all of our listeners on the new 975 FM Multicultural Radio. Thank you so much for choosing us. Today I'm in conversation with a young lady who came from Venezuela. And she's now living in Trinidad and Tobago. She's made a name for herself and she's made Trinidad and Tobago her home. I'm speaking of no other than Astrid Pulchan, teacher, translator, and her survival in Trinidad and Tobago, how she would have evolved as a woman and allowed her dreams to blossom. Yeah, welcome back. So you've done a lot. I've noticed that you like to model Indian pieces and you look fabulous. I've seen some of the photos and you know, you carry those pieces beautifully. Why those pieces?
Well, basically it's because the designer had chosen me. Well, of course it shows different models, but she had chosen, we go to castings.
And she's a brilliant young lady. I know her as well.
Can I mention her?
Yes, of course
yes,
you can. I know her very well.
Yes. So basically, after the pageant, she had called a group of from the 24 girls. She called a group of 10 girls.
Yes.
To go to it was Presentation College fashion show, and we did her on the runway.
And this is Neha, yeah?
Oh yes. So basically, this designer is Neha Karina. Yes,
Neha Karina. Let me tell you something about her. I knew her when she was just out of Lakshmi Girls Hindu College. She was a student, a teenager. I interviewed her and I showcased her talent in dance on a program that I produced and presented many years ago, Apne Sitare, which was a cultural show that I produced and presented on television, GISL, and she was simply fabulous. She was just out of Lakshmi Girls Hindu College, and I saw that passion. Have you ever seen her dance?
Yes, of course.
She's amazing,
yes,
all right?
course.
And she too would have evolved to be a woman that I respect and admired. Yeah. Because she always had her goal, she was always very focused, she knew what she wanted, and she allowed those dreams to be blossomed. She also hosted her own television show, some time ago. So she's done remarkable things in Trinidad and Tobago that we ought to be proud of, and giving people like you the opportunity
Yes, of
to
course.
blossom. So I want
Yes.
to applaud her this morning. I remember her, beautiful, young, charming girl with an energy and a desire for growth and success, and she did it.
Yes.
And she's doing really, really well. I'm very
of
proud
course.
of her.
Yeah, she's my friend.
I want to talk about your involvement with the UN. A couple of years ago, my husband and I had the opportunity. We were on vacation in Switzerland, in Geneva, and I had the opportunity to visit the UN there. And that was a lovely experience. I want you to talk about your involvement with the UN and how you are able to partner with them, work, and help.
Yeah, well, basically, this was a course that was given freely to immigrants, but not only immigrants, locals as well.
Correct.
So basically, these GVES consultants give us this business development plan through the foundation. We didn't have to pay anything because they think by this foundation, Pan American Development Foundation, ACNUR, and United Nations, helping the refugees and people in need as well, because they think if they give them a hamper, that's it, it will finish, you understand?
Yeah.
But no, the idea is to give them something that they could use in the future to create a life for themselves and to, to be able to produce something.
Which brings us to the concept, don't feed a man with fish. Teach him how to fish, so he will
yes.
be able to sustain food for the rest of his life.
That's
So actually teaching people how to help themselves rather than wait for a handout or a hamper. You're very correct. A hamper is only for a limited time.
yeah. So basically, this one was about having a business idea, and the classes were to train us to actually make the business plan, and we end up with a business plan. And what they want to do is to choose one of those. I'm still waiting in the waiting list. Yes, choose one of those persons to give them the seed. To give them the financial seed to start their own business in Trinidad.
So I like that, because then they are helping those to help themselves, because in these trying times it's really very it's difficult. It's not as easy to start a business altogether.
Exactly.
And if they give you that good solid foundation, it will help you to grow and evolve. So that's a wonderful initiative, and I don't think people are aware of how much the UN, United Nations, how much they do and how much they help, and how many scholarships and grants and things that are available. And I know we do have a lot of young people out there that are home, they're jobless, and they're looking for things that will help them to keep them active and to keep them growing. And I would suggest that you Google and you do some research on some of the things that the UN are doing and how they can help you. So if you know, if you know your nephews or nieces are home and they're not doing anything, or you know friends, or you know people, and they are ambitious and they've got dreams to help them, I would suggest you Google and find out how the UN can really help you to evolve as young people. Like, this young lady would have done her research.
Yes, but let me tell you something. The good news is not only for young people, it's open for all ages.
Yeah.
We have all kind of ages. Actually, that was one of the courses, but as well, I work as a translator on certain times to translate these courses for immigrants. And it's not only these courses now is not only for their own businesses, for them to learn a skill so they could work. So they could learn something. And actually, I always encourage people, it's always, education is the most important, because whatever you have inside you, in your brain, nobody will take it from you.
It's yours
not
for life.
exactly. It's not like the material sense, somebody could take it, but what is inside
you. I talk to
you.
my daughter about every day, the importance of education, the importance of ensuring that you are educated. You don't wait for handouts, but this is your power. This is going to be your power and your tool for life that will set you apart when you're educated, and that's a fact at the end of the day. Given the, the sort of competition we're dealt with daily, yeah? We are about to wrap things up. We have a couple minutes left, about 5 minutes or so. What do you want to say to in particular, because you're also very active in terms of social media? I'm told you're, yeah.
Well, actually, I hope we get a lot of people a lot of audience to this, because yesterday I made my homework to send it out.
Right.
Yeah, the flyer was sent out to a lot of contacts and a lot of in my social media as well.
So you do influence a lot. A lot of, I would say migrants or, Venezuelans or the Cubans or whatever, they look up to you. You are their hero, What do you say to them, those that are struggling, those are, because it's not easy, It's not easy, like I said in the beginning. A lot of us would point fingers and we say things and whatever, but perhaps you might be the next person who would need to pack up and get out of Trinidad, or you want to get out of Trinidad for whatever reason. So you need to have the understanding and compassion to understand why people would leave their comfort, their home, their country, their family, their friends, everything that they know, leave it behind to start new. It's difficult. So what do you want to say to those people that are struggling? They're here in Trinidad, they're struggling, it's difficult, they live day to day, they've got their dreams. Some of them, let me tell you, I remember clearly, I spoke with a doctor from Venezuela.
A lot of people,
professionals, really nice people that came to Trinidad, and they were cleaning people's homes, washing cars, packing grocery shelves.
Yeah.
They did whatever it took to survive, right? What do you say to those people?
Well, first, I know a lot of people are struggling with depression, because the reason is that only who left everything behind and start from zero could understand that. And I experienced that, so I understand you. I understand what are you passing through. But what I could tell you with facts and with experience is that you could get help. So don't stay there and just remain there. No, please call somebody, get your social media going, do something to connect. Yes, that's what I always tell them. Just go out there, meet people, just interact with somebody, and you will get help. Another thing that I normally do is affirmations. You need to speak positive and think positive. Yes, it's not that all the time, thinking negative and only.
Yeah. You've got to be positive.
Yes.
You have to put out that positive energy, and you've got to set a goal and work towards it. I want to thank you kindly. I want to wish you success. I know that on our radio station, U975 FM Multicultural Radio, we are in talks for a brand new Latin show, and we're going to be talking more about that as it develops. You're going to be hosting that show. So I want to wish you continued success. We are going to see more of you and hear more of you. May God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you, and all the best. Let's go to these important messages. When we return, we're going to be talking with Dr. Nicholas Maraj. I'm excited. I already got a lot of messages this morning with regards to his topic on stroke. When we return, so stay with us.
Charan's Bookstore. For all your school books, stationery items, uniforms, shoes, board games, toys, and much more. Visit them at any of their 3 branches located at 24 Eastern Main Road, Quezay, San Juan. Telephone number 675-9024 or 675-3607. 53 Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna, 663-1884, 663-1476, or 645-3878. Trin City Mall, Trin City. Contact them at 640-3155.
Calm down, calm down.
Check out Charan's bookstore.
Visit Agri Savers Limited, number 19 Orange Grove Trace, St. Augustine, for all your agriculture, livestock, pet, agri-equipment, hydroponics, cannabis, fishing tackle supplies, and much more. Open Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Contact 473-6074, 663-1094. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Tile Expression Limited, the number one leader in tiles. Large stock, unbeatable prices, wide variety of porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles, wall and floor tiles, residential and commercial, granite and quartz countertops. Best quality from Spain, Italy, Brazil, India and China. Tile Expression Limited, conveniently located Monroe Road, Kunapir. Telephone 693-0015 or 223-TILE.
Lifetime Solutions, manufacturer of metal roofing, panels, framing, guttering, and related products. Located lot number 26, Omera Industrial Estate in Arima. Give us a call, 646-5813 for further information. Lifetime Solutions. Give us a call today.
Are you suffering from stroke, Parkinson's disease, dementia, or migraine headaches? Then we've got the solution for you. Our consultant physician at Synapse Medical Services is a UK specialist in internal medicine with Canadian training in general neurology and stroke neurology. Synapse Medical operates out of St. Augustine Private Hospital, Southern Medical Clinic, St. Clair Medical Center, and West Shore Hospital. To book an appointment, message them at 367-9368. Synapse Medical Services Limited.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa. To all of our viewers on Synergy TV, all those of you on the Caribbean, Showtime Television in Canada, and all of our listeners on U975 FM Multicultural Radio, thank you so much for choosing us. This morning we are in conversation with no guests, and from this morning on radio, when I was on the radio show, I was getting messages. You know, people are already waiting in anticipation. When they heard that Dr. Miraj is coming in and he's going to be talking about stroke, I was already getting messages. That just shows the demand for information. And let me say good morning and welcome to no stranger, Dr. Nicholas Miraj. Welcome, Doc. Nice to have you. In terms of internal medicine and you know, neurology, he's a strength in every way. And I just want to let you know that Dr. Nicholas Miraj is the medical director of Synapse Medical Services Limited. He is a UK specialist in internal medicine with Canadian training in general neurology and stroke neurology. And Synapse Medical, our program is coming to us with the kind compliments of Synapse Medical. They operate out of St. Augustine Private Hospital, Southern Medical Clinic, St. Clair Medical Clinic, and West Shore Hospital. So the offices are based there. So from the beginning, before we even get into the topic, I want you to write Dr. Nicholas Maharaj. I want you to write the number down. You can send a WhatsApp message. Someone will respond for an appointment. All right. And of course, take the number down, store it. And it is 367. Please have that number up. 367 9368. 367 9368. I want it up on the television as well as for those on radio. I'm going to repeat it again, and I'll be repeating it so that if you're driving or if you're working, you could store the number 367 9368 for an appointment with Dr. Mirage. All right. So, Doc, welcome. You're going to talk about stroke, and I think it's because of by popular demand.
Definitely is.
You know it, you see it firsthand, you live it every day. You've got the healing hands.
I hope so. Actually, between yesterday and today, we had what, 3 new stroke patients. So
You see,
just with us alone.
And the thing is, what I like is that you are trained, you're certified, you would have had experiences in the United Kingdom, in Canada, international.
Yeah.
And that is what you would bring to Trinidad as well in terms of international standard. And that is what sets you apart, I believe. Doc, today we're talking about strokes. I know we got into, you were here before and we did touch on it a little bit, but I want us to expand a little more today.
Yep.
What is a stroke? What causes it?
So let's just kind of recap from
Please.
the last time that we did. So what's a stroke? A stroke are the signs and symptoms manifested in somebody's brain from a lack of blood flow to that particular area to the brain. Different areas of the brain control different things. The right side of the brain controls the left side of the body, left side of the brain, right side of the body, back of the brain vision, more front part of the brain motor function, the lower part of the brain things like hearing, speech. So for example, if the right side of the brain in the front gets a stroke, you have trouble with the left side of your body, moving your hands, moving your face, moving your legs. So a stroke is basically signs and symptoms from reduced blood flow to that area of the brain.
Right.
2 types of strokes, the bleeding in the brain strokes and the clot in the brain strokes. 4 out of every 5 strokes are the clot in the brain strokes. 1 out of every 5 strokes are the bleeding in the brain strokes. The bleeding in the brain strokes are the really, really, really dangerous ones, more likely to lead a patient to becoming, having significant more, deficits and a higher chance of their passing away. The clot in the brain strokes, less likely for them to die, but more likely to them to live with a lot of paralysis or permanent neurological trouble.
Doc, you would have seen people lively, full of life, happy, happy people that their family depend on. They are the breadwinner, they are the one that would pay all the bills, they take care. And because of a stroke, it takes away every inch of their independence and who they are. And they now become dependent rather than independent.
It's a tragedy.
It steals your joy.
It disrupts the person, it disrupts the family unit, it disrupts the more expansive family unit, and then worst of all, it disrupts their financial capability.
Correct.
Then indirect financial costs for now family members having to reroute finances towards taking care of that patient, rerouting their time and their energy and their mental energy and the emotional energy into taking care of that patient.
I want to talk about the risk a little bit.
So things that cause strokes mostly are the clots in the brain strokes. Let's take that one mostly.
Right.
The clots either come from blockages of the big pipes carrying blood up to the brain, so blocked arteries to those pipes, something called atherosclerosis, or trouble with the heart itself, where you have little clots building up in the heart from abnormal heart rhythms, or clots from the abnormal valve structure of the heart. And things that can cause those are the typical lifestyle diseases that we talk about. The most common one, high blood pressure.
Please pay attention today.
Yeah.
High blood pressure on top of the list. You take it for granted. Don't take it for granted.
No.
Now, I know that you've got offices throughout Trinidad and Tobago, 4 to be exact, in different major health institutions. If I suffer from high blood pressure, should I make an appointment to see you?
You could.
Prevention better than cure,
better than
putting
cure.
you on a proper plan.
Properly, because I mean,
Nice.
you hit high blood pressure by controlling your diet, making sure you exercise, and there's a myriad of medication that you could be on, depending on your age, your profile, whether you're different age groups, whatnot. Get your blood pressure better controlled.
Dr. Mirage, you would have seen firsthand. I mean, long ago you would think that somebody who is older in age would suffer from a stroke.
Yep.
We are seeing people as young as in their 20s.
Yeah. Yep. High blood pressure, smoking,
Pay attention, you know.
diabetes, high cholesterol, heart trouble, big risk factors, obesity, probably one of the biggest risk factors that can lead to all of those complications. High blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, all linked together to obesity. And that doesn't mean to say that people who are skinny or small can't have high blood pressure or diabetes.
You heard that?
I see a lot of patients who are, who in Trinidad, we have a very varied mixture of what we think small is or what we think not so small is. And even younger, smaller patients can have diabetes, can have high blood pressure, multitude of factors of bad diet, poor exercise habits. So yeah, and all those things could contribute
You
to stroke.
talk about small. You yourself are very petite and small, but you're a giant in many ways.
I try.
Because you could save lives.
Yeah.
You could help people get their life back on track. In terms of when we talk about reversing, can we?
Yes, and that's the most important thing about stroke care. Patients have, so time is brain. That's the thing that we use as the analogy we use in the whole stroke world. Every minute that you have a blockage in the brain, you're losing about 1 million neurons, 1 million brain cells.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So you have about 4.5 hours from the beginning of your stroke to be able to give a certain type of clot-busting medication into the veins to try to burst up the clot inside the brain. The closer you are to the beginning of the stroke, the better the outcome is likely for that patient. The longer they take to get that medication, the less likely they are to get no permanent paralysis or any sort of impediment. Earlier on, more likely they to have a complete recovery. So 4.5 hours from the symptoms, they need to get to a hospital that can do a CT scan, identify if there's a bleed in the brain stroke or a clot in the brain stroke. If it's a clot in the brain stroke, you can give the medication and try to burst up the clot. If it's even a special type of clot where there's a really significant burden that the patient has, where like they're completely paralyzed on the right-hand side, can't speak at all, and there's a clot sitting in somewhere in a big pipe called the middle cerebral artery or the anterior cerebral artery or the basilar, there's a really interesting tool we can use where we take a wire, pass it up the pipes, up into the brain itself, and pull the clot out. And that we have up to 6 hours, even in some newer studies, 12 to 24 hours to be able to treat a stroke patient.
You have to work on that immediately.
Yeah. Only certain places in the country have that. That's West Shore and Southern Medical. So mostly Southern Medical and West Shore. St. Clair and Medical Associates, I believe, also has it. Only 2 people in the country really can do that procedure, but you need to identify the stroke, act on it, get the medication necessary. So patients need to identify the signs and the symptoms of a stroke early to be able to seek that care.
Prevention is better than cure. Get help immediately.
Definitely.
This is the program Conversations with Zelisa. I'm in conversation with Dr. Nicholas Muraj. Our program this morning coming to us with the kind compliments of Synapse Medical Services Limited. Now they are located, Synapse Medical operates out of St. Augustine Private Hospital, Southern Medical Clinic, St. Clair Medical Center and West Shore Hospital. Telephone contact, please get this contact up there right now. Telephone contact to make an appointment. Stroke victims, or you're in a situation where Doc spoke about being able to get that early intervention to get help, please call now to make an appointment for Dr. Muraj. 367-9368. 367-9368. That number again, 367-9368. And of course, it's Synapse Medical Services Limited. Let's go to these messages. When we return, I'm going to continue my conversation with Dr. Muraj. Today he's talking to us about stroke. If you may be in a situation where you need some advice with regards to stroke and how Dr. Muraj can assist and help, you can send your WhatsApp messages. When we return, I'll read it to Doc. Stay with us.
This is the final notice to all our patrons. Farb India Expo will definitely be closing on Monday 21st August. Everything in store up to 80% off. Final few days to relish multi-cuisine food courts. Big sale on furniture. We thank all our patrons for their support. We should be back for Diwali. Once again, final extension. Farb India Expo will definitely be closing on 21st August. No further extensions.
Super quality supermarket. Best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Couva Car Park, Couva, 98 Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket.
Are you suffering from stroke, Parkinson's disease, dementia, or migraine headaches? Then we've got the solution for you. Our consultant physician at Synapse Medical Services is a UK specialist in internal medicine with Canadian training in general neurology and stroke neurology. Synapse Medical operates out of St. Augustine Private Hospital, Southern Medical Clinic, St. Clair Medical Center, and West Shore Hospital. To book an appointment, message them at 367-9368. Synapse Medical Services Limited.
Passage to Asia, the award-winning restaurant and banquet suite located in the heart of Chaguanas, the best fusion food restaurant in Trinidad and Tobago. From the second you enter to the moment you leave, you will be treated like royalty. Come, dine in luxury and enjoy the finest combination of Asian cuisine prepared by skilled and qualified chefs at Passage to Asia. The experience is truly unforgettable, perfect for families, couples, and large groups. Passage to Asia, located at St. Ives Street, Chaguanas. Contact 672-2701. Also, visit us on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa. I'm in conversation with Dr. Nicholas Muraj. He's a force and strength to be reckoned with. Brilliant, ambitious and handsome. And of course, Dr. Muraj is the medical director of Synapse Medical Services Limited. He's a UK specialist in internal medicine with Canadian training in general neurology and stroke neurology. So he's a specialist, especially when it comes to neurology and stroke, all right? And our program today coming to us with the kind compliments of Synapse Medical Center, and they operate out of St. Augustine Private Hospital, Southern Medical Clinic, St. Clair Medical Center, and West Shore Hospital in all, areas of the land. And please remember to call 367-9368. That's 367-9368 for an appointment. Not a call, but rather you can WhatsApp and someone will return with an appointment, or get back to you with regards to where and which office suits you and that you're comfortable seeing Dr. Muraj. Welcome back, Doc. Today you're talking to us about stroke, and we go straight into treatment and how you and your clinics, your offices, can help those affected with stroke.
So the most important thing is, once we've identified the stroke with the scan, if they're within the treatment window, we can try to give the patients the clot busting medication, or try to extract the clot from the brain. That would reverse the symptoms of a stroke. Lamentably, a lot of our patients are outside the window because patients decide that they have their symptoms, they're going to go and sleep it off, or go to the hospital maybe later, and then the little stroke that they have with a little bit of weakness in their hands turns into a full-blown piece of paralysis, and that's the most unfortunate part. So
No, you talk about the little, because we see a lot of people, stroke victims, you know, they no longer could feed themselves, bath themselves, walk, talk, smile, have a conversation. It takes away, when you think of it, it's only when you're in it or you understand how much it takes away from an individual, and not just the individual, the family members.
It's sad. It's really sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
But with early intervention, making that appointment with your expertise, your experiences, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but in Canada and the UK as well, your formal training, you can help.
Definitely. So the most important thing is to highlight people what are the symptoms of a stroke so that they could identify it early.
Something is wrong. And not misdiagnose.
And not miss those. And then, so it's the whole B-FAST, B-E-F-A-S-T. B is balance. If the person's having some balance issues or wobbliness, for example, they're drifting to one side when they walk, or having problems using their hands, that's B. E is for eyes if they're having vision difficulty, double vision, difficulty looking out of one eye. That can mean that there's a clot in the brain in the area that controls vision. B-E-F, F is for facial weakness. If the person has droopiness of one side of the face, you tell them to smile. If one side of the face looks like it's weaker than the other side or paralyzed, that's F, B-E-F-A. A stands for arm weakness. You ask the patient to kind of put the two arms up in front of you, and if one side starts to droop, that's the side that's weak. That's arm weakness. A, B-E-F-A-S, S stands for speaking difficulty or speech trouble. You ask the person what's their name, what they had for breakfast this morning, if they hear their speech is slurred, or if they can't understand you, or if they can't speak at all, any of those things, balance, eye movement trouble, facial weakness, arm weakness, or speaking difficulty, T, it's time to call 811 and get them to an emergency department.
What is the age of the youngest patient you would have treated?
So the youngest patient I've ever seen with a stroke is a 3-month-old baby.
A 3-month baby?
Yeah, but those patients would have very, very, very weird risk factors that would cause that type of stroke, like maybe inflammation in the brain that constricts the pipe that's carrying blood to that area of the brain. So that's the really weird and wild types of strokes patients.
So what sort of symptoms then the parents could pick up with? You know, what would they see to know?
So the baby would have been moving about and using like both sides, crying and using their hands and throttling about with both sides equally. And then what mom had noticed is that baby really wasn't using the right hand side of their body at all. And that was really unfortunate. That was pretty unfortunate.
How is that baby now?
Unfortunately, that baby had meningitis as well, which is inflammation of the brain, and that baby did not have a very good outcome, unfortunately.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Any younger ones though?
Younger ones for people who have the typical risk factors like we had spoken about, the high blood pressure, the smoking, the diabetes, the high cholesterol, the obesity. That would be in the 24-year-old age group.
20s.
Yeah. Those are patients who had probably diabetes since they were like 10,
Yeah.
like early onset
Yeah.
diabetes that damages the pipes in the brain, the eyes, the heart, the kidneys, or had high blood pressure for a long time or been smokers for years. Those are the kind of age groups. And I'm seeing lots and lots of young patients, especially in the 30s nowadays, having strokes and having heart attacks. Something in the diet, something in the lack of exercise, something in the stress, something in the medical problems that they never figure out.
You see, we don't realize the importance of taking care of ourselves and our health, prioritizing and being disciplined until it actually hit and knock on your door. And it's either, if not yourself, or one of your close family members or friends. And then you realize that this person's entire life has been stolen away because every independence is gone.
Yeah, that's it. That's really it.
Get help. For those, Doc, who have been knocking on door to door, trying different things, they can't get help, they can't seem to be getting any sort of improvement, because you're a specialist, this is what you specialize in, and you understand that you can get help. You can help.
Yep. How do you help patients who've had a stroke already, miss the time window, so that you can't do the reversal therapy? It's a lot of hard work with physical therapy, speech therapy if they're having speech trouble, and occupational therapy to get them back into the everyday activities of daily living, using their spoon, going back out to work, getting back into their life. But physical therapy is the biggest one, and most patients give up too easily because they become tired, stressed out, depressed, angry, and all those things are natural. You must feel frustrated, angry, sad, emotional.
Depression steps in.
Really common, and people then blame themselves for becoming depressed and lash out at themselves, lash out at their family members. It's a big emotional roller coaster that they go through. The most important thing I tell my patients is to, even when the days get hard, the bad days don't last. And you just need to stick with the therapy and stick with the rehab. Find the causes, find the things that make life worth living, and try to stick with those and go to your rehab. Not all stroke patients recover completely, but most stroke patients recover to a fair deal.
That's great news, and there's no magic pill, but it's about yourself and the determination, following your instructions, your guidelines, and yes. So for those who feel hopeless, for those who are looking at this show, for those who are listening right now on the radio, and you know someone, or you yourself, you're in that position, then we ask you, I ask you, get help. Regain your confidence. Get you back, and don't allow this to steal your joy and your happiness, your peace, because it takes that away from you.
It definitely does. It definitely does.
Part of your program, would you also encourage people or get them to do a bit of counseling in order to? Excellent.
As one of the most important parts of it, because I mean, mental health is as important as your physical health, and you need your mental health to push through. It's basically like you're learning back to walk, you're learning back to talk. Once a man, twice a child kind of situation. So people need a lot of encouragement and just not to give up. Just not to give up, because stroke rehabilitation happens within the first day, within the first 3 months, within the first year, within the first 3 years. And the biggest thing that one of my professors taught me back in Canada is that we give up too easily with patients, and patients then, once the physician has given up on them, they don't try any harder, so they don't make any more recovery.
And that was important that your professor said that, because the truth is we believe in our doctors, and if our doctors do not believe in us, we can't believe in ourselves. You are the hope.
Correct.
You are the ray of light that would, when they come knocking on your door, make that appointment, they come with that enthusiasm that this doctor is going to help me. I'm not just going to another, but I'm going to the one that's going to give me my life back. They put their life, but they've got to follow the guidelines. There's no magic pill. Your closing comments today.
1 in 4 patients will have a stroke at some point in time.
That's alarming, Doc.
Yeah, it's very common. It's the most common cause of disability in the world, and it will become more common as people get older. High blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, smoking becomes more common and is not as easily treated and is not as well treated or not as identified. Stroke is common. Be fast, balance eyes, speech, facial weakness, arm weakness. Time to call 811. 4.5 windows to get the clot busting medication in. 6 to 12 hours or even longer to try and fish the clot out of the brain. If it's a bleed in the brain stroke, we can treat that also. And for patients who've had strokes already, don't give up.
Doc, I want to thank you kindly for being here. You understand the importance after your busy schedule. I know how consumed you are. I respect that. May God bless you, guide you, and we look forward to you joining us next week.
Thank you so very much, Zelisa.
All the best, Doc. And that, of course, was Dr. Nicholas Mirage. Please reminding you that our program today came to us with the kind compliments of Synapse Medical Services Limited. 4 locations. They are located at St. Augustine Private Hospital, Southern Medical Clinic, St. Clair Medical Center, and West Shore Hospital. Telephone contact for a WhatsApp. Send a WhatsApp message 3679368. That number again, write it down, store it as Dr. Nicholas Mirage, who is, specialized in neurology. 3679368. That's 3679368. If you didn't get it, shoot me a WhatsApp and I'll send the number off to you. Here's reminding you that with God, all things are possible. You are in control of your life by the choices and decisions you make. If you are suffering from a stroke or you know someone suffering from a stroke, I ask you to please call 3679368, rather send a WhatsApp 3679368. I am Zelisa Budu Singh Rupani. Thank you so much for choosing us.